Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and I am currently doing 31 days of Halloween. Today is day 11 and I wanted to do like a classic monster, so Frankenstein's monster, but I also wanted to do the Bride of Frankenstein, so I'm going to stitch them together on my face. And yeah, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off with the eye area that I want to be the bride's. And she's got very like angled eyebrows, so I am going to block off the ends of my eyebrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a glue stick. So I've got the first layer of glue on. Now I'm gonna let it dry and go in with a second layer. I'm gonna take a third layer. Okay, now because I have really dark brows and because they're also tattooed on, I have had my eyebrows micro shaded. So I'm going to color correct a little bit of orange liquid lipstick. And I'm just taking this one from Morphe. This is the shade Spicy. If you have very light eyebrows, you probably wouldn't need to do this. Blend out those edges slightly with my finger. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry completely before I go in with a concealer. Now I'm gonna take my NARS Radiant Cream Concealer. I'm gonna apply that. Okay, now I'm gonna start drawing in this eyebrow, and I'm going to use some black face paint for that because I want them to be really dark. I'm gonna start taking them back. So before I move on to like the foundation or anything like that, I'm going to do like the actual eyeshadow. Okay, but before I do, I am gonna carve out just underneath my eyebrows with a little bit more concealer just to kind of clean it up a bit. Okay, for the eye, I'm gonna start off with this gray shade in the Natasha Denona Glam palette, this middle dark gray. Just blending it on the outer corner and taking it into the crease. I'm bringing it down a little bit on this inner part as well. I'm gonna take this really light, it's like a creamy gray in here. I'm gonna use that to blend out the outer edges. Now for the center of my lid, I'm gonna use this silver from the same palette, this one here. Mostly just focusing it in the center, going back in with that dark gray. And I'm going to take some of that black eyeshadow and kind of go a little bit closer to that silver, but still where that darker gray is. Now I'm going to take some of this bluish silver highlight from the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette. This is the shade Forever Lit, and I'm going to use that on my brow bone. I'm also going to use that for my inner corner. Now I'm going to do a winged liner. Now before I move on, I'm going to start to draw where I kind of want all the different pieces to be. So I'm pretty much going to go in the middle on from the forehead. And I'm just using like an eyebrow pencil. And right now I'm just kind of playing with shapes. Yeah, I think that is okay for now. So we're gonna stick with this. I'm going to start with the foundation for the bride side. And for the most part, I am going to be using like a white paint just because she is very light. But I'm also going to add a little bit of my foundation. So I started with white on my brush and then added a little bit of my foundation, just dipped it in. And right here I am going to clean up under the wing. Okay, now I'm just reblending that highlight. Now with that really light gray, I'm going to kind of dust that all over my face. Okay, now for my lower lash line on that side, I'm going to take the dark gray. I'm going to bring that highlight down. With my sponge, I'm just lightly cleaning that up. Now with where I would normally start to contour, I am going to start to contour with that dark gray. And taking that same highlight. Okay, I'm going to pause here from this side for now, and I'm going to start on the monster side. For this side, I want the eyeshadow to be purple. I just think that'd be kind of fun. So, I told myself I wasn't going to use it because I haven't done a video on it yet, but I am going to use some of the purples from the new Pat McGrath holiday palette. I'm so excited about this palette. I can't wait to get that video out. So I'm going to start off with Venomous Void, which is this one here. So I'm just taking that all in the outer corner and bringing it in. Now I'm going to use this purple shimmer in the palette. This is Violet Void, which is that one here. Literally so beautiful. I'm going back in with that first purple. Okay, now I'm going to start with the green. And I'm going to start with like a little bit of a lighter green. So I'm going to mix some of that green with some white. Okay, so now I'm going to take this green eyeshadow. I'm going to take this green eyeshadow from the Hit the Lights palette, and I'm going to go in on my eye where there isn't green. I'm also going to be using the same eyeshadow on the actual green too. Okay, going back in with that matte purple. Now with that same matte purple, I'm going to go in on my lower lash line. I'm also going to take a bit of black eyeshadow to deepen everything up. Now I'm going to start taking some green shimmers and some green mattes. I'm going to use the Morphe 35M palette, and I'm going to use like a dark matte green to kind of start to contour. I'm taking this one further down than I did this one. I kept it pretty angled. I'm going to go pretty deep with this one. Now taking this green shimmer, I'm going to kind of use that to highlight. I'm going to take that on my inner corner as well. While I have the green paint out, I'm going to do this section here. Okay, now I am going to take the green on this side of my neck. Okay, now in the green sections, I'm going to pretty much do what I did here. So go in with that green from the Hit the Lights palette, and then start to kind of contour and highlight with the greens from the 35M palette. Now I'm going to do the same thing and start filling in with that white paint slash foundation. Now, same thing, I'm going to set it with this light gray eyeshadow, then use that highlight from the Anastasia palette and also contour with that darker gray. Now I want a little bit more of a glow on the monster side, so I'm going to use the Glow Getter. Right, now I'm gonna start drawing in the stitches, or the lines where they meet, I should say. So I'm just using a black liner. I'm drawing it on pretty thick, thicker in some areas. So I have like the base for the stitches that are going to be holding them together. Now I am going to draw their own stitches, if that makes sense. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some white paint on the sides of all of the lines. Now I'm going to take some black eyeshadow and go on the outsides of that white. It's a lot of like little tedious work, but we're going to do it. And I'm kind of going on top of where the white is just because I made the white pretty thick, so I want to thin them out a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going in a little bit darker on like the corners. Now I'm going to start drawing the actual stitches. So I'm going to start with my black liner. Kind of switching the directions of them slightly. I am going to do my lips really quick. I'm going to paint them black, both sides, I think. But I do have like that stitch going through, so it does kind of separate them. I am kind of trying to make the bride side just a little bit smaller. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on each stitch with a little bit of white paint. Now I'm gonna draw the little holes that the threads are coming out of. I'm just going over each of the little holes with some black eyeshadow just to make them a little bit more 3D. Okay, I just colored my ears, like one green, one white. Now I'm going to do my hair and put on my lashes, and that will be the finished look. And this is the finished Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster look. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I didn't think it was going to come out this good, if I'm being completely honest. I tried to kind of put my hair up like hers along with the little white stripe. I also did darken my eyebrow on the Frankenstein's monster side, and I also wanted to add a green contact on that side, but my eye was just not cooperating. So I wasn't sure how this was going to come out when I sat down to do it, but I am pretty happy with the outcome. So let me know what you guys think. And that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.